Joining us now is Florida Congressman Mr. Alan Grayson, a member of the Financial Services Committee. Congressman, you've been outspoken on raising taxes for small business America. You're in favor of reincarnating the death tax. Is there no tax, sir, that you won't embrace?
I think you're wrong.
Are you in favor, or will you vote in favor of extending the Bush-era tax cuts for all Americans, including those making over $250,000?
No, we can no longer afford tax cuts for the rich. That will cost us $700 billion over the next 10 years. We simply don't have the money.
All right, Representative, therein lies the rub here. Therein lies the little problem you and I have communicating. I said you're in favor of raising taxes for small businesses. Turns out, sir, 3 million small businesses would be affected by raising taxes for those making over $250,000 a year.
That's not true. There aren't even 3 million people in this country who make more than that, so you're misinformed.
I'll tell you what. I'll buy you dinner if I'm wrong on that one, okay? But let's move forward. Small corporations, S corporations, are corporations who are exempt from double taxation. In other words, being taxed as a corporation and being taxed as individuals. Those 3 million, 2.9 something million filers are going to be affected by the north of $250,000.
No, again, you're comparing apples to oranges. There are that many businesses that have more than that in revenue, but you're not taxed on your revenue if you're a subchapter S. You're taxed on your net income. You are, sir, mistaken. No,
I'm not mistaken. In fact, adjusted gross income, the top 1% of filers represent 38% of all taxes paid. 38%, top 1%. If you go to 5%, it becomes almost 59%. We are talking about a big group of people who are already taxed enough already.
Is that a question?
No, that's a statement. Here, let me ask you this question. What do you think about the death tax, the estate tax, going from a 0% to now a proposed 35% with a $5 million exemption? What do you think of that, sir?
I have always thought that it's better to tax the dead than the living, but in a way I'm prejudiced because I'm alive.
Okay, so what does that mean in layman's terms?
It means that the government has to pay for its bills. And I think that people who are adults should understand that. If we're going to be taxing somebody to pay for those bills, including the $1 trillion defense budget, it's better to tax the dead than the living because you can't take it with you.
But they've already been taxed.
They've
been taxed already. They earned the money. They paid the taxes on it. Now they just want to leave it to their family. They want the estate to move on, to let your kids have the benefit from your hard work.
Are you trying to tell me that billionaires have they don't have enough money? We have to make sure they don't get taxed either. There's only 3,000 families in America who this tax affects, and it raises $40 billion a year. So, I think that's a good bargain, considering that we'd have to tax the middle class and ordinary working people to raise that $40 billion otherwise.
There is another option here, and this is the left. It's always about how high can we tax, or where should we tax or not tax. You could cut spending. That'd be a great thing.
All right. What do you think we should cut?
Across the board. Remember Obama as campaigner saying he was going to go line by line and cut here, cut there, cut anywhere he could. Frankly, he hasn't done a thing. I haven't seen any cuts.
Around 90% of federal government spending is three things. The defense budget, including, let's call it the CIA budget, the secret budget. The defense budget is the first thing. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are the second thing. And interest in the debt are the third thing. That makes up almost 90% of federal spending.
Discretionary as well,
Which
sir.
of those
Let's not
three
forget about
things?
Discretionary. I mean, you're
that
talking
is
about
barely 10% of the budget. If you cut that, the planes would be falling out of the sky.
No doubt.
But which of those three things do you want to cut?
How about a little of each?
Which of those three
I'm
things?
fine with all of them. I'm even fine with raising the retirement age. That's okay. But
we should
do
default
something. Don't
on
just
the federal debt.
But here's the issue. You don't even talk about that on the left. All you talk about is how much we can tax to pay for the spending.
I don't know which caucus meetings of the Democrat Party you attend, but we talk about this all the time in our meetings.
I got you, sir. We're going to say thank you to Alan Grayson. Appreciate your time.